Alright, I thought I'd share this with everybody. It's the back bumper for this truck. It is a 3/16 plate steel bumper. Now this bumper is actually for an 07 to 13 truck, but these bumpers are not cheap. The guy had one left, and my wife bought it for like 500 bucks, and he shipped it for free. Weighs 146 pounds. Yeah, it was fun picking it up and setting it up on there without it banging into the truck, but I got it up there. Now what I'm going to do is setting it on the milk crates. Now I'll go get me some wood pieces, paint sticks, so forth or whatever. It's got to come up about another ½ inch, 3/8 to ½ an inch to get it where I want it. And then of course, get it angle, level, front to back, and everything. Now the thing is, on these trucks, square body chassis is narrower than an OBS, like 1 3/4 inches on each side. An 07 to 13 or a 14 to 18 truck, they're even wider than an OBS. You can see right here, let me go to this side. You can see right there where the frame rail's at. Right here is the center of the mounting bracket. So it's about 4.5 inches different. Underneath here is a big 1/4 inch plate with 4 bolt holes. Right there. I'm gonna get a piece of 1/4 inch, 3/8 to 1/4 inch, 5/16, whatever I've got in there. I'm gonna put a piece that goes over farther than that, bolted in. Then I'm gonna weld off of it and come straight up here with a piece of flat plate to the frame. Use that hole, that hole, that hole, and probably put one more up here somewhere. And then I'm gonna put 2 gussets, one right here over to that plate, and one right here from the plate over to that piece right there. And then in between the gussets, I'll weld a piece of tube or something in between them. And then it's done. It's on. It's that simple. Okay, it comes with the clevises on it. I've got the lights. It came with the lights. Came with a 7-wire plug. It's got 2 holes for put a ball in here, but you can see it's 3/16. So I think what I'm going to do is I've got one of those receiver hitch pieces that'll bolt through here. Bolt up, and then I'm going to take it back, put a piece in the frame across, and I'm just going to build a receiver hitch off the bottom of this bumper. I've got a class 5 hitch for it in there, but in order to put it on, I'll have to cut the exhaust off, turned out to the sides, and bring the exhaust straight out under the bumper to put it on, because it won't, it won't go around the exhaust pipe, and I'm not going to trim the hitch out. You never want to trim on a hitch at all. Then these holes right here, I'm going to cut this out from here to here and from here to here, and I've got those aluminum potted LED lights. I'm going to put one in each side. I will probably mount the backup camera in here, up in here somewhere, so it'll come under the gate. But I can go up about 3/8 to ½ an inch up before, and then I'll still have like a little bit of like a 5/16 gap between the tailgate and the top of the bumper. So, but when she showed it to me, I liked it because I wanted to put a 2014, 2018 rear bumper on it because I like the steps and I just like the boxy off-road look. And the flat areas of that bumper I could have cut out and put my lights in. But this is a lot heavier, and honestly, the added weight might help this bastard ride a little better in the ass end. So, I mean, the look of the truck, it don't look bad, but the front is down. Once we set the engine transmission in it, squatted the front down. So I've got an 1.5 inch add-a leaf we're going to put in the front springs to pick the front up. So this ain't going to squat the back of this any. It's got 3/4 ton springs in it, but it needs to come up. So we're going to try the add-a leaf. It says it averages between 1.5 inches and 2 inches, so that should take care of that. You never want to run a block in the front. I don't even like running pinion correction shims, but sometimes you have to. Now they do, I've never used them, but Daystar, and then there's another off-road outfit that makes a 1.5 inch and a 2-inch shackle to go right there. Okay, longer shackle, heavier duty shackle to lift the truck. Problem with that is when you push that down, you're going to change your pinion angle and you're going to change your steering angle. Now, your steering angle you can get away with a little bit. That drag link on these trucks should be level to the ground, not parallel to the spring, but level to the ground. As you see, with a 6-inch lift spring, I had to use the raised steering arm and a 2.5-inch drop pitman arm to get mine level. So I didn't want to, you know, the shackles were like $100. The added leaf was like $1.20. I just got the added leaf. And simple, just pop these loose, take it out. Those are new springs. Pull the center bolt, put the added leaf in it, put it in, tighten it back up, cut it off, because I always get a new center bolt. I don't reuse the old ones. And then put it all back together. And I will literally come out here and just pick it up by the receiver hitch on the front of it. I'll just slide a piece of tube in it and pick it up. So take the tires and wheels off, and I might not even do that. I may leave them on and pick it up high enough when it drops. It'll give me just enough room to slide that added leaf in there and tighten up the tie bolt. So, but that'll keep people from thinking twice about tailgating you. Guarantee you that. But I like it because it's got the little corner steps out here. It's got these where you can hook onto it. Like I said, by the time I make that plate that comes off the frame, it comes out, and then it'll weld to this plate that's bolted to the bumper. And then I put 2 1/4-inch gussets, and then put 2 pieces of tube in between it and weld it all up. That bumper ain't going nowhere. And then I will put a piece of plate on the inside of the frame as a stiffener. So anyway, just thought I'd share that. Other than that, the lifter issue seems to be fixed. We just got link bar chatter. That's all it is now. Those stock rockers were actually making contact with those cast aluminum valve covers. I had to put the fabricated ones back on it. And then I noticed when I was underneath it, I looked up and I used flat washers on to space the torque converter out. It's got 3 flat washers. And I looked up and I'm like, some of them were tapered, like real thin on one end and get wide on the other end. And when it was running, I noticed the flex plate was kind of wobbling a little bit. So I ordered some of those spacers from Mazir to go in there. I ordered 3/16 and 1/4-inch. So, because I think I've got this converter pulled out 3/16 out of, all the way in, and then pulled out 3/16 is usually about what I always set them at. So, but I couldn't remember if it's 3/16 gap or 1/4-inch. I was too lazy to measure. They're $23 for 3 of them. I just ordered 2 pair. We'll always use them. Big, heavy, thick spacer. You can use them all over, anywhere on the vehicle. So, too bad this bumper is so curved. Because I started building one for the front of this, which is almost similar to this bumper. Except this right here was bigger. And I actually used the ends off a factory bumper on it, like, you know, out here. And built all into the center of it where it bolts to the frame. And then just the outer wings of the bumper. And I was going to cut the impact strip. And then this right here is where the winch would mount. Now that I've got this one, I really want to finish that one up now and bed liner it and get it on the front. Because I designed it to bolt right to the factory brackets. So it's just a matter of taking the bolts out of this one and putting the other one on. And then the outriggers that I made up for it on to support the ends of the bumper. But it turned out pretty good. I'll have to show it to you next time out in the garage. But I come in here about 2 inches outside of where the bumper bolts on, and I cut the bumper and I plated inside it with a piece. And then put gussets in it. And then I built the whole center section, put these on, welded the plates to it. But when as you see, these got this little drop down up here. Well, the little drop down part, I cut the bracket off right here, and what I did is I took this and extended it back 3 inches all the way across the bumper so the bumper could set out farther to put the winch in here. So that's why this bumper, the brackets are scooted out, because see that big gap right there? That's why that is on a stock bumper, because it's designed to set out farther. Got bug shield on, the wife got me, or whatever you call it, hood deflectors or whatever the hell they are. Remember my granddad used to have them on his old trucks, great flat ones that stick way up. Typical grandpa truck, aluminum camper shell with the little smoke bubble windows, white, didn't match the truck, big sticking bug shield sticking up. That was his fishing rig. But yeah, it's a little short in here, but that's all right. Fits the contour of the bed pretty good. You know, right around the corner of it. So Chevrolet does their homework when they build shit. They know guys are gonna swap shit around. So, but there you go. I just wanted to share that with everybody. There's the bumper. So now I gotta get off my ass and get the front one done so they look right. So everybody, stay safe. God bless. And one of these days I'll quit screwing with this and start driving it. But we're going to do the bumper and the add leaf this weekend, then I'll be driving it. I've already drove it. It runs and drives fine now. There's no issues with it. So, till the next one, stay safe. God bless.